I'm Karen Finn, and as you know, I love to talk about all things to do with health and technology. I was having a great chat to my friend Susie, who is a nurse, the other day, and she said some really exciting things that I wanted you all to hear about. So I have her here along today. How are you, Susie?
Great, thanks, Karen.
So maybe if you could start by just telling us a little bit about the academia world that you're into.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm a nurse, and I've always been a bit of a dork, and I've really liked doing research and being quite nerdy. So I'm actually about 6 months off finishing my PhD at the moment.
So you will be Nurse Dr. Susie.
Yes, or Dr. Nurse, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you'll have to work that out.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, so it's really exciting. So, yeah, I've been really immersed in this academic world for the last 3 years or so.
And it's in the world of cardiac, is that right?
Yeah,
It's
correct.
heart patients and that sort of thing.
Yeah, my nursing background's emergency and cardiac, and then I've also been teaching first aid on the side as well, running my own business. So my PhD encompasses all those things.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned to me the other day about text interventions for patients. So that was intriguing. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
This is just something I've been reading up on at the moment because it's some direction I may head in the future. So text interventions have been used in my population, in this cardiac patient population, and it's just sending out text messages from a bank of sort of, you know, prefabricated messages that have been checked by cardiologists and clinicians, and just reminders for things like, hey, have you checked out the Heart Foundation website? It's got some great information on diet and exercise. Or, hey, have you checked in with your GP this week? Have you had your fasting cholesterol done? Things like that. So, you know, it's a very easy intervention for the clinician to do. And then at the patient's end, they can say, oh, look, I've got a text from my cardiac clinicians. I'll get back to that later. Or they can action it whenever they need to. But it's just sort of like having a doctor sitting on your shoulder, sort of just, you know, keeping in contact with you and keeping you on track.
Yeah. And I think it breaks the information down into bite-sized pieces rather than presenting them with a page of things they have to do and keep up with. It just reminds them, it drip feeds them that information, which is a lot you know, more easy to digest for them, I guess. Yeah. So I think there's a lesson in that there. I mean, is that something you can be doing with your patients? You know, somehow using a system to schedule text messages, to give them reminders, just to make them feel like you're a health professional in their pocket, you know, looking after them. That's a really good way to sort of keep that relationship. Now, the other thing, I happen to know that you're a little bit of a Twitter champion when it comes to conferences and all of that sort of stuff. Could you just perhaps give us a chat around the importance of social media in your academic career?
Yeah, it is really important these days. I think, you know, we're such a fast-paced world and we're very global now. We can easily reach international audiences. And as a researcher, one of the most important things is dissemination of your research findings to a greater population, and also translation of those findings as well. So Twitter's a great platform for that because it's very easy. It's very bite-sized messages, like the text messages you were saying as well. And you really have to think very carefully about what you're going to say in 140 characters and really try and be able to deliver that message in a way that, you know, clinicians who are on Twitter or lay people who are on Twitter or stakeholders who are on Twitter can really digest easily and find out about your research.
Yeah, awesome. And it's about who is your audience as well. So where the SMS is sort of a patient target, Twitter would be largely a colleague-based, you know.
Yeah, it's been fantastic for networking as well. So, for instance, if I go to an international conference, I may have had a Twitter dialogue with someone, and then it just makes it so much easier to go and approach them and you know, say, oh, hey, Karen, we've been tweeting. It's so great to meet you in the flesh. So for networking, it's just been amazing.
Yeah, awesome. And the final thing I wanted to talk to you about, you have done a lot of teaching of CPR over the years, and one day you pulled out and showed me this very portable CPR training kit. Now, I'm all about making things mobile and reaching more people. That's sort of the telehealth in me coming out. But this is fascinating. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so here's one I prepared earlier. So this is a kit by Layardell, and it's called the CPR Now kit. And basically, it just enables people to learn CPR without having to go somewhere, without having to find an instructor. And we're not saying it's replacing instructors, but it's just an entry into getting some CPR training.
Because we've all seen the big Resusciannies. They're huge, you know. You can't, and they're not very portable.
It's the bane of my life, carrying them around. So this is fantastic because it's all in the kit, and we can have a little look what's in here. So basically, I'll give you that one.
So there's a DVD.
So that's your instructor. So that DVD has an instructor who's called Susan, who takes you through CPR in 30 minutes. And then instead of having one of those big mannequins, these are inflatable, reusable resuscitation mannequins. So the whole idea is that when we train someone up with these kits is that they almost become a trainer. So we're training the trainer, and then they can take it home and train other people. So for my research, it was a very high risk group I was training, and then that high risk people could take it home to their other high risk people and train them up as well. So it was very easy to
So the
disseminate.
more portable it is, the more people it can reach. So
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
able to reach more people.
Yeah.
Well, great work on all of that.
Thank
You're
you.
literally saving lives with the work that you do. It's so great to have you for a chat.
Thanks for having me.